sem hafa barist fyrir frelsinu nú í nokkur ár og ég kynntist þeim á frelsisráðstefnunni í Genf í Sviss í síðasta mánuði og þeir ætla að segja okkur svona frá því hvað þeir eru búin að vera að gera á undanförnum árum og sinni baráttu og svo framvegis. Okay, so now I switched into English. Welcome, Pedro and John. How are you doing?
Nice to see you.
We start with you, Pedro. Pedro Brito from Portugal.
Hello, Margaret, and hello, Iceland. It's nice to be with you here tonight. And yes, it was a pleasure to meet Margret in Geneva for the rally we did there against the WHO, the treat for the WHO on the 1st of June. So yes, it was great to see such a movement from all around the world to get together for the first time in history, where is all the countries from across the world united for the first time. So it was really good. So yes, it's a pleasure to be here tonight with you people in Iceland, and thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Nice to have you in the show, and it was nice to meeting you guys in Switzerland. And yeah, to tell the audience, we were all there to fight against the WHO pandemic, like I call it. I don't call it the pandemic because it wasn't. It was a pandemic. So
Definitely.
what about you, John? How are you? And welcome.
Hello, Iceland. Margret, Pedro from Portugal. This event, this march in front of United Nations, actually was a suggestion because this was a second edition of Inspired Summit, right? The first edition was in Florida in the beginning of 2023. So I participated through the Zoom with, Senator John Kennedy and Perry Corey. We couldn't came to Florida. So I had 90 seconds for, send a video. Then I suggest for, all the countries being in front of United Nations and WHO, because everything comes from WHO. So we got to step up because we just fighting, in each country separate. It's very important that we, be together in the same step. That's why I suggest for we all be in front of the United Nations. And we all know that week was, the week they pretended to sign the treaty of pandemic, over 100 countries, and yeah, it was a pleasure be with many, activists, doctors, journalists, scientists around the world for fighting for our freedom.
Yeah, for sure. If I start from the beginning, Pedro, how did it start for you? How long have you been in this battle for freedom?
I think I have been since I born.
Okay. You've been with rallies since you're born, or when did you start?
I think it was since we born. Yeah, because it's our choice to come to this time of in this planet, to this moment of our life. So we chose to be here to this time. You know what I mean? So I say all the time, since we're born, because we are born for it. We've been on the front line for so many years. I've been around the world, been living outside Portugal for 25 years. And that times as well, I was like always been a part of the freedom movement, really, because for the last, I say 30, 40 years, we have this democracy, camouflage democracy around the world, to try to really hypnotize this for so many years, But people like us has always been awake, really, because it's just born with you, So yes, I mean, for the last 4 years, I've been more active because, what's happened, like with the pandemic and all these crazy measures they've been trying to implement to humanity. So yes, 4 years has been non-stop till today, till now. I mean, it's like it's not one day we're not doing something for the cows, because for this things has been happening for the last 4 years. So yeah, I mean, I've been involved with a lot of organizations. The beginning, was more national here in Portugal, but after, when it's all the global start to get together as one, like with the worldwide demonstration for freedom was the first movement around the world, was very organic, the beginning. So yes, so I was joining that, and we did great job here in Portugal with that. We put thousands and thousands of people together with lawyers, with doctors, nurses, I mean, people from all different kinds of lives, but yes, it's been great to see, like, when we start with 40, 50 people, to see it like afterwards, like 1 year after, we have like 10,000 people. So yes, it was really amazing to see in Portugal and all over the world, because this is happening simultaneously with Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. It was the countries more attacked. They really went on the streets, like and all over Europe as well. So yes, after the worldwide demonstration, I organized with Monica Smith from Australia. She's a journalist, and we organized this together with the World Global Walkout for We Are Ready organization. We start this year we done a big rally in Lisbon last year for the Club Bilderberg. Is from a lot of people don't know about the Club Bilderberg. Is a secret organization with all these globalists. They meet once a year, and they chose the city where they're going to be. And this year was in Madrid, last year was in Lisbon, and the year before was in Washington, D.C. So we made a massive rally here with journalists from all across the world coming over to Portugal to try to expose these people to the world, because every measure is happening around the world, no matter which country, because today the countries, they become corporations, they're not countries anymore, and controlled by globalists. So these meetings is where all these big, massive globalists meet once a year to decide what they're going to do to humanity. So this is what we have to focus most now, is to the ones who are attacking us, the ones behind scenes not many people knows about. So we have to go straight away to them. So after that, the Geneva event, it was like organized, and one of the organizers contact me, Dan Austin Gregory from UK, and since that we start to speak to each other, and we start to meet people, and we start to organize, and let's go. And also when we met Andrea from the We Are the Change organization in US, we joined forces together. So this was really amazing to get all this connected to people from across the world, from New Zealand to Japan, to Brazil, to US, to Europe, all over the world. So it was really amazing. But for me, for the last 4 years, I've been keeping doing all different kinds of things here in Portugal as well, because I cannot stop. I mean, now we cannot stop, because this agenda is moving too fast. So is for people who will still believe in Christmas, I will say, it's time for you to wake up, because they are coming really fast. So anyway, this is me.
Good. So you managed to wake up a lot of people through the organization in Portugal and around the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, also around the world, yeah, because my connections was with a lot of people from around the world, because I did live for 25 years outside Portugal in different countries, so I still have connections. And yeah, I've been contacting these ones, that ones. I mean, even from Israel as well. I mean, it was amazing to see how the movement there so big as well, and so other countries. But yeah, especially in Portugal, it was very, very important because Portugal is like a dictatorship country as well. I mean, everything is controlled by this government is part of the globalists, like like the rest of Europe and the most countries in
Yeah,
the
like
world.
in most of European countries and
Yeah, so you know
Mhm.
what I mean. So it was very difficult for us at the beginning with the lockdowns because we've been censored, like you guys, the same in Iceland, and we could not do much. So it was difficult, but it's nothing we could. We have the constitution here in Portugal to protect us because we are allowed to do demonstrations every time we want. We just do it's part of the constitution. So we have lawyers with us who help us as well. So yeah, it's been amazing journey, to meet all these new people because we never met before. So this is the thing, it's like people coming together and nobody knows each other. And but we start to speak the same language now. So and this is
Yeah,
going to grow and grow and grow. So you know.
yeah, very good. What about you, John? I understand like you're working a lot with the children. Can you tell me a little bit about the situation in Brazil? You told me they're gonna have a vaccination mandate for children in Brazil. Is if I understand right?
Yes. Yes, Brazil, it's the, worst scenario in the world. I always said since the beginning of the pandemic, Brazil is the dream of New Order because, we got food, we got the climate, tropical climate. Yeah, I always knew Brazil is the new base of all of these guys, from Agenda, United Nations, World Economic Forum. And I start to realize, this is a war, biggest war in the history of humanity, right? This is very clear for me. This is 99% spiritual war, right? This is the attack of the demons over our kids. The target is our kids, And yes, I did the first, protest, march, public hearing, so everything, here in Brazil since 2021. For you have an idea, we did about 2, 3 events per week here in Brazil. But unfortunately, the politics, the doctors, the journalists, everyone was scared to talk about, the vaccine, the mandates, everything. So I was almost alone here fighting with a couple of mothers. But yes, we did a nice job because we just, knocked down the mandates of, a vaccine over the hundreds of seats here in Brazil. But we always knew the children's here in Brazil is the target, the children's. That's why Brazil now is the protagonist of 2030 agenda. This was announced by our Minister of Health, Minister of Environment in last Davos, conference with, Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab. Brazil is the protagonist of immunization of the population and the combat of climate change. So here is the worst scenario. So I went to Vienna in 2022 in Better Way conference from World Council for Health. After Brussels last year, and in the public hearing, and this year in Geneva. But since 2022, my brother lives in Vienna, my sister lives in Brussels. I never heard about mandates of COVID vaccine in Europe or other places in the world. But Brazil just, it's the opposite side of the world. And when we had this other election last 2 years ago, and the President Lula won, he's leftist, we all know about, and he always warned the Brazilian population about the mandates, right? So the age of children's, vaccination just starts to drop. Your words just stopped. and why Brazilian, government all pushing this over the children's, the kids and babies. So the situation right now, there's a mandate for 6-month babies to under 5 years old, okay, for getting to school. This is crazy.
This is
That's three
crazy. You know,
doses.
I was just writing an article. It was a research from Britain. Children who get the COVID vaccines, they're 4,400 times likelier to die than unvaccinated children. So it's really crazy that they're doing this.
Crazy. Yeah, but gets worse. Now there's tens of mothers. They just received the notification of a tutelar counselor and the public ministry for vaccinating their kids. Otherwise, they got 60 days for vaccine. Not only COVID vaccine, the fully vaccine card, right? And otherwise, it's about $4,000 charge per day.
So is there
But
is it a high
even
death rates in children in Brazil? It's like is there high death rate and sickness and side effects?
yeah, it's not all the cities in Brazil. Just 2, 3 states, one city, another. But they really pushing, pressure the parents because even they pay discharge, they got to vaccinate. Otherwise, there's a prosecutor from tutelar counselor in public minister for separate the parents from their kids. That's what's going on here in Brazil right now.
When
Right?
did Hitler when was he born again? You know, it sounds like Hitler's born again. It's crazy. Like
It's
they
crazy.
want to separate the parents from the kids if they don't want poison injected in the children. This is crazy. So
Yeah, I just have this, I receive WhatsApp every day from desperate mothers. That's 2 families in Rio de Janeiro also. They already separate the kids from the parents. Just take the baby 1 year old or 2 years old, and now it's separate. In some place, the state just
where
took
they take
in
the children? Where they take them if they separate?
the house.
Where
Went
where
to the house.
where they take what house do they take the children to?
I'm sorry.
You said they're separated from their parents. Where do they take the children?
And so place for here in Brazil, for example, if some parents hit the children, they put the children in some security place. That's a state umbrella, right? And they put over there.
Secure place.
Yeah, but this is just for make people be scared. This is a trigger, for conscience for other parents. Just be scared to see. Oh, we got to vaccinate our babies each other. Otherwise, the state's gonna prosecute us, charge us, and separate us from our kids. But Brazil, it's the worst scenario. In this month, July 29th and 30th, there's a meeting of the global leaders for they prepare the next pandemic.
So
This month is gonna happen.
how is the rally doing? Is many people taking a part and parents and are they always increasing the numbers who take a part in the rallies?
No, here in Brazil, just like around the world, the media is against us. They don't say nothing. They keep making that cheap marketing publicity, safety, efficacy, everything, the TVs, the websites, the journalists, the politics, because here we are less than 1% of population, wake and and try to fight, etc. That's why I'm saying here is the worst scenario. That's why I went to Geneva for ask for international support for our parents.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated situation in Brazil because probably in 10 to 20 years, over 50% of our population is gonna simply
So
die.
you don't have any independent media in Brazil, like Frettin, like we have Frettin in Iceland. It's independent media against the mainstream. You don't have anything like that in Brazil?
Now everyone is scared since Lula gets in the power. Nobody wants to talk because they start arresting, patriots. Just went to the streets. There is, 70 years old grandmother, get 13 years in the jail. That's crazy here in Brazil. And the doctors never did event, protest, or march on the streets since the beginning of pandemic because
Yeah.
they scared to lose the license. The police either, the journalists either. Now everyone is scared to talk about this.
Okay. Well, at least you have Alejandro.
Probably.
Yeah, at least you have Alejandro, which we met on the conference. Is there more doctors like Alejandro in Brazil who's fighting
No,
against?
but he's from Mexico.
Oh, he's from Mexico. Is there no doctors from Brazil who's fighting
No,
against?
there's a huge doctors association, Doctors for Life. There's over 15,000 doctors.
Yeah.
But they never did a single protest in the street. Because, I realize many of doctors just want to make money with this situation. They don't want to fight for our kids. They use this situation for, make money. Because it's less than 2% of our doctors. We got 500,000 doctors in Brazil. But less than 2%, talk about this in social media, etc. But this 2% never went to the street, never promoted the event on the street for Save Our Kids, because they make a fortune in treatments. Fortunately, with documents, I don't recommend this vaccine for your children and your son, This is Brazil.
So they're
Yeah,
actually breaking
unfortunately.
the doctor's oath with this, if they're thinking more about the money than the health of the people. So they are breaking the doctor's oath, I guess.
Yeah, I'm here almost alone in Margaret fighting. Last year everyone was scared to, even make a post. So I did 3 public hearings inside the city council chambers with international doctors, state assembly. I did it on the national congress also. I did it 2, 3 marches on the streets. We are still doing march on the streets here with grandparents, parents, uncles, aunts, You're still, but there is no doctor, there is no politics, there is no journalists, just the mothers, grandmothers, uncles, fathers. But we're gonna still keep fighting here for our kids, But I know it's very hard, but I can't stop to fight here for our children, kids.
You're very brave. So yeah, we are lucky here in Iceland. We have different situation here because we are very small population. We are 350,000 people. We had a lot of vaccination. Like overall, it was 93% of the nation who went to the vaccine because of the propaganda, and everybody, they were all in it. It was the government, it was the health system, and it was the police. So, and there was a lot of fear-mongering propaganda. People were so afraid. But luckily, because we are such a small population, we have now. I think most of the nation has waken up, and that's a part of it because we have the group here in Iceland. We have also been, we have been taking a warning for 4 years. We started in 2020. Everybody thought we were crazy at the time, and anti-vacciners and anti-vaxxers, aluminum hats, crazy people, and all that shit, But today we cannot see anybody who's there's nobody laughing anymore, and there's a lot of people who's actually who's actually they're shocked, they're shocked that the health system, which most of the country, or most of the nature had a big trust in, but that's actually that's gone now. They don't trust the majority of the people. They don't trust the health system. They don't trust doctors, and they are actually approaching more to people who has been warning, who is not doctors, and asking for protocols and stuff. So I think they're trying now to make up some new bird flu. Everybody's laughing here in Iceland. What about it? But it looks like, yeah, that's good. So what
Good,
about
good.
in you in your cases? I can see you are much more behind in Brazil because you are such a large number of population, and it will take probably longer time, and it's more easy to keep up the pandemic, I guess. So do you think that people will are they gonna buy a new pandemic? Will they get more injections? Do you think so? Yeah,
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 unfortunately.
sad.
Unfortunately, because now we get this tragic percentage. I saw the last data officially. That's we got about 13 million 6-month babies to under 5 years old here in Brazil, kids, right? So over almost 60% now they are vaccinated
Oh my
with
God.
COVID vaccine.
Mm.
Yeah, that's tragic because if it's some vaccinated decided to, in 10 years, 20 years, to date, you're married, be lovers, the spike protein, you can, through the shedding, transmit the spike protein. That's a totally disaster here in Brazil for
Yeah,
next generation. And we got also H1N1. We got dengue, the mosquito dengue,
yeah,
dengue mosquito. We had a kind of pandemic here, and everyone just go to the hospital, forget vaccine. Here is this, it's craziness here in Brazil, craziness.
that's
Nobody
great.
wants to go to the street. Nobody wants to fight. The politics don't want to talk about. The doctors scared to talk about. The journalists, don't want to talk about. That's it. I went to Geneva. I did interview for many channels around the world, but nobody even share my interview. Zero politics,
Terrible.
zero journal,
Yeah,
zero doctors, zero.
so sad.
That's it.
So what
Yeah.
about Pedro in Portugal? What do you think about the public in Portugal? Will they get fooled again with some bird flu pandemic like they're trying to do now?
I think some countries will get more than others, but I think still 50% of the population around the world, I believe, because we already awake 50% of the population, because we the minority around the world. One time, like 3 years ago, probably was like, I don't know, it was millions of us, but now I think the numbers will 100 times, because everybody who took that shit, that experimental poison shit, is they don't want to take anymore. Everybody I know here in Portugal, everybody, don't want to take anymore. So that is the thing, we now have more people, so that is the thing. That's why they are moving fast, because they know they can analyze all the mainstream, all the internet around the world, all the social media, and they can see it, and we can see it as well on the comments, on the newspaper, online. We can see the comments they have from the people, and the comments, the 80% of the comments is against the mainstream media. So majority of the people, they know about the mainstream media. They are all controlled by the globalists, because it's the biggest investments. He was I remember here a case in Portugal. when George Soros was here 9 years ago, visit Portugal. And one of the guys is, everybody knows him, was a prime minister in Portugal, was a family called Pinto Balsemão. He's he's been since 1974, something like that, I think. It was in the 70s, part of the club Bilderberg. So he's a member of the Bilderberg club here in Portugal. He owns the media here in Portugal. So he owns the media in Portugal, and newspapers, TV, and I did remember 9 years ago when George Soros come here to visit him, because he's been at that time he did a tour around the world to sell that TV program is called Polygono. Polygono. What's the name, mate? In Portuguese, o polígrafo.
Polígrafo.
Okay, that is owned by George Soros. Okay, so I remember when he come to Portugal to sell that to Portugal to this guy. Okay, so to start to put the polygraph all around the world, so whatever we say is a lie. So yes, the media here is all controlled by the regime, the Portuguese regime. It's not the Portugal anymore. It's a corporation. So yes, it's been censored. We've been attacked all the times, basically. But now, because so many people are awake, things are different. So we have independent journalists. The beginning we have just Sérgio Tavares, just one our friend who went to Brazil, and they become really famous in Brazil.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we have only one at the beginning, but now we have more people all around the country are doing podcasts and things like that. So it's growing. So yes, in Portugal, yeah, they're going to do the same thing. A lot of people are going to fall to this new pandemic, but I believe we're going to be 10 times the numbers on the streets here in Portugal, because we have to be prepared to go on the streets again, all over the world, not just in Portugal.
Yeah.
But here in Brazil, Margret, that's just one detail I want to share. We got this mayor of São Paulo City. São Paulo City is the biggest city in Latin America, right? And this mayor, in the beginning of pandemic, he did lockdowns. He forces the employers from the mayor palace to vaccinate. Otherwise, they fired many people. And here, he just announced 1 month ago, São Paulo is going to be the first city in the world is going to put all the 17 triggers of 2030 agenda for our, population. And guess what? The conservatories now, because we got election this year, they make, accords between them. The conservatories now are supporting Agenda 2030. So the leftists, the conservatories, everyone here, is together for put the 2030 agenda in Brazil. This is crazy.
It's the same in Portugal. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, we have the same in the agenda here in Iceland. They even, they have this agenda, they're gonna ban the gasoline and diesel car by 2030. Actually, they changed it now recently to 2035 because they see it's not possible. They always change in the plans because the plans are so stupid and terrible. We always need to be changing it and updating it. And but here in Iceland, actually, there's a big awakening. So I really believe it's gonna happen also in your countries. It's just gonna take longer time because you have more, a larger amount of population. So, but what about the sickness in your countries? Is it a lot of increased deaths and sicknesses in Portugal, Pedro?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's going to be sickness now from since they start to inject it for forever, because I mean,
For example, here in Iceland, we have 25% increased deaths among
oh
young.
yeah, in Portugal the same. Since last year, with the highest, he went crazy. Like he's never died so many people from there till now. But they
That's
try to
amazing. Those numbers, those news, this alone doesn't awake people. I don't understand.
no, but they hide the numbers. They
Yeah.
don't tell the truth. I mean, the numbers they've been telling to us is a lie. I spoke to you the other day, and to John actually, in Holland they disappear. The data from the people died since 2022 till now. 500,000 people disappear from the data, and the government in there, they say they all migrate. They all went to other countries to live. So how can be possible? 500,000, especially the Dutch, it's not 500,000 can just go in one go to outside the country. So they hide the numbers in Portugal as well, with the numbers, with the death numbers, because 3 years ago was a judge in Portugal, and together with some lawyers, they found out it was only 150. I think it was 157 registered deaths from COVID, and the government say it was close to 20,000 deaths on COVID. So 157 to 20,000 is a lot. So yeah, they hide the numbers. But since like last year, yes, I mean, I never see so many people die in my life. Friends, members of family, it's just like in collapsing. Like last year was crazy as well. New Year's was 2 girls I know, both 39, 40 years old. They went to sleep and they never wake up. And it was 2 of them in the same day. And that's like every week, like, I have a lot of people saying about all different things, like, cancers is the turbo cancers is like going crazy all over the world. But yeah, now everybody's sick. Like, now they start to saying, oh, we have the COVID again on the TVs, like we have to be careful, and maybe we have to have masks as well, and like that, to start to put fear on people. And because they know what is coming, because I mean, people have flu at this time of the year when it's summer. It's supposed to be like everybody's fine, with the vitamin D and stuff, and everybody's body with flu, and everybody's going to do tests now, and this COVID. I mean, the people are just, it's like I say.
Yeah.
This is becoming
the best thing about living in Iceland, that we are such a small population. If 500,000 people will vanish in Iceland, there's no people left. So we are only 350,000 people, so they cannot make even 1,000 people disappear. Everybody would know this. So
But
that's the best thing.
They stopped to make, COVID vaccine campaign, right? In Iceland and Portugal. They stopped, right? The government. Or they still doing COVID vaccine campaign? They stopped it in Iceland and
there has never been a vaccine mandated in Iceland, but it was highly recommended, and it was also
it's the same here.
It was also like meant that like people who lost their jobs if they didn't want to take the vaccine, and so it was almost like a vaccine, because there's a pressure. If you don't do it, you cannot travel, you're gonna lose your job. Are you gonna kill your grandma? Are you gonna kill the old people? It was like this fear-mongering. So most of the people went in it because they didn't want to be the bad guy. They said, I need to take responsible like all the people. This is how they put it up. And we, the people who was awake and we were warning about it, we were the crazy people and the dangerous people. And yeah, so they twisted it.
But they're doing on this day.
Upside down.
On this day, they're still pushing. On this day, They still doing campaigns today in Iceland and Portugal for COVID vaccine. They still doing this.
They're still doing COVID vaccine. They're trying now to put the propaganda started. They say like, there we have increased cases of COVID and blah blah blah. But you know, you can see it on the social media under the articles from the mainstream media. Everybody is laughing. Don't try this anymore. You know, stick it up your ass or whatever. You know, and people is actually getting very angry because most of the people is seeing through it today. They see it's a propaganda, it's fear-mongering, and the health system and the government is not working in the good way which it should for the people. They are working against it with corrupted corporations and like this big corporations like World Economic Forum and World Health Organization and all that, like we know. So, but because we are such a small population, that's good to see it, that the most majority of the people, they regret to have in the first place went in it, and even, I see a lot of people today, they are looking at all of the vaccine, even what's called the normal vaccines, which they always thought it was safe and effective. They don't think it anymore. Now, many people is talking about, I'm not gonna take my child to any vaccination anymore. So that's good.
But here in Brazil, they just this year, we are in the middle of 2024. They just, create a campaign. They just bought 70 millions of Moderna monovalent vaccine. Nobody applied, Moderna since 2022, I guess. It was banned in all countries in the world. But I told you, Brazil is the worst scenario, and they're still pushing COVID vaccine from Moderna over the population, 70 millions. We are on the sixth dose.
Yeah.
Sixth.
Yeah.
I guess you guys your country stopped on the fourth, I guess, right?
Some of them have
Some of them 5
or 6, but most of that people are actually just that already, or very, very sick and dying, because this is what the specialists warned from the beginning. For example, Gert van den Bosch, he's the virology specialists, they're one of the best in the world. He said from the beginning, don't get this vaccine. This is not a vaccine, so we shouldn't even be calling it a vaccine. It's a poison injection. And he said, the more boosters, you will get more sick. If you will get 5 or more, you will die. And this is what we are seeing all around. It's like people all around
here in
dying.
Brazil, but
Yeah,
the data of sickness, the officially, because I always got to work with officially numbers, right? So my friends just check every month the data about excess of deaths, right? Here in Brazil, some ages, over 40, 50 years, we got about 60, 70% of excess of deaths. This is officially.
wow.
This is officially.
This is official.
So
How many
you can, yes, officially in the Ministry of Health's website, you can find all these numbers, but the excess of death, since the, 16 years old, 18 years old, it's over 20, 30%, and you just, don't stop to grow. Every month grow.
And a lot of healthy young people, healthy sports people, because they train a lot, they train more and put more pressure on their heart, and I saw this the other day. It was 17-year-old boy, like a professional athlete. He got a cardiac arrest and died. Before we didn't know, so young people were getting heart attack or cardiac arrest. It was very, very rare, but we're seeing it almost every week now with very young people. And so it's really
Yes. Here in Brazil, every week there's a mother, send message to me and write on my social media. hey, John, I lost my son with 11 years old, 7 years old, my daughter with 13 years old. Every week, every week.
Yeah, it's so terrible, and
Crazy.
that's just amazed me so much. Why are people not awakening yet? Because even, you know, I know people who lost their loved ones here, their kids in Iceland, and they don't say anything. Maybe they're just afraid, or maybe they're in denial, but it's slowly coming. Now people are starting to open up about the side effects, so that's good. But we have very corrupted groups here in Iceland too, who's trying to stop the publishing, and they've been trying to stop me and my media to make articles and talk openly about it. So we have also very corrupted groups who's working for the deep state, who's trying to stop the, you know, talking
Yeah,
about it. They're censoring everything, you know.
yeah, yeah. They are like rats around the world. You know,
Yeah.
they paid a lot of the UN. They pay a lot of influencers.
Yeah.
I think it was an article a few years ago. It was 130,000 influencers all over the world paid by the UN to influence everybody, to special people from journalists, actors, people from the TV, people like that, you know, like socialite and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So a lot of
they're
people are
so smooth, you know, they smooth into you. Like, you know, I have about, you know, 20, 30 people I've been working with in my company. Three of them I saw it was a control opposition. They start to work against me, against my company, and, you know, very smoothly, but like rats, like you said, you know, and that's amazing how they try to smooth, you know, everyone inside, and they're so truthful. We believe they're working with us. So yeah, this teaches me we need to be aware of everywhere, because, you know, these globalists, they have a lot of money, and they are bribing a
they
lot
buy
of
them.
people, and even the most unthinkable people get
Yeah,
corrupted. You know, that's
yeah.
very sad.
But they didn't vaccinate their kids, right?
Yeah.
Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, Albert Bourla, you know, that's a journalist, you know, made interview. Did you vaccinate your daughter, your son? No, no, I didn't. Why? Oh, they are very healthy. They don't need vaccine. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Completely, you know,
Well,
opposite.
they don't do it for their own kids, of course, you know, but they want the others' kids to have the poison. Yeah, that's amazing. So,
Yeah, yeah.
we, you know, the time is flying. You know, we need to take more
Yeah,
conversation.
last
So
conversation with
it's only
friends.
7 minutes left of the show. So I want to ask you, what about what's in front now? What we gonna do? The battle is gonna continue, of course. So let's start with you, John. How are we gonna
I'm gonna keep,
continue?
yeah, I'm gonna keep it in March here. I'm supporting Japan now, as you know. You know, I got events in Japan on this second
Yeah,
semester.
it's gonna be a big event in Japan, in Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah, this month and the end of September also, you know.
Yeah.
So here I'm gonna keep, you know, doing March, public hearings. That's how I can do now.
Okay, good. And the same for you, Pedro. You know, you are always on the working for the freedom, and with the rallies.
Yeah.
So there is a event from the same group in New York or Washington. You're planning
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah. It's already one is the organization from Geneva. Some people from the organization they doing one on the 29th in Washington D.C. But we don't know yet about New York.
The 29th
We
of
have,
September.
yeah, but we don't know yet about New York event. It's supposed to be in front of the UN for the meeting they having for the security of the world. Is going to be very important. So I don't know yet. I'm still waiting for Dan Gregory to say something. But we are keep going to do things anyway, because now is going to be the time where we all have to organize more than ever, because before when is all this start, we never been organized. Like, it was everybody help each other, but was not like an organization. But now we have the tools to do it. So yes, the people have to put one thing, even the ones working for the globalists and the ones who come to the groups to divide. They have to remember one thing. The globalists, they don't give a shit about them. They are slaves. You know what I mean? So they have to understand one thing. It's not because a pocket money, because I will call pocket money for what the globalists give to these people to divide us, because it's pocket money for them. All right. And they probably will survive like for 2 or 3 years, but they have to think about one thing. The globalists, they don't care about them, and they're going to treat them the same like they treated to us. So it's time for them to think about, to join us, to be with us, every single one, because it's only few of them. People have to understand. The people are in governments, the MPs, the prime ministers, all of these guys who are in big positions, they are all puppies. They are all puppies of these globalists. They are only few. So people have to understand. They don't go to give a shit about them. So it's better for them to start to join us, and we're going to grow. And yes, but we already have a big army on our side. We already built such a big army. So now we can plan to every single person around the world, like we did like before, and organize at the same day, at the same time, rallies together, no matter, because that is what's going to happen. That is coming. They are coming now, and we have to prepare that. Before they coming really hard, we have to do harder against them. So this is the way to fight.
I actually heard, in when we were in Geneva, we saw it actually, they were hiding like they're like little afraid mouses, in the floor above us. They were hiding and watching like like a little rats or something. And but what I heard also, that those globalists, those people, they are actually afraid of us as a group. I heard that they talk about us. We are very strong, an organized group, and clever. And so this is what they are very afraid of, because they are not clever. They are doing it in a very, very
No, they're not clever.
stupid way. So that's good. They should be afraid, and they know they can never fool people like us. That's for sure. And the group is always getting bigger, and it is increasing. And I agree. All those people who is listening, even who got divided, take a big thought for yourself, because those people, if you give you a little pocket money, they're not your friends. That's for sure. They don't care about you at all. So,
but yeah, and it was a really great experience, Geneva. That's why we make this our friend Marcelo, the journalist, he made this amazing documentary for Geneva. So I hope the people in Iceland also, they enjoying to see that documentary, because it was made from the heart. It was made organic. It was made from real people to real people, for people to understand. It's time for us to join together forces to start to march together. And yes, so I hope everybody could enjoy the documentary, because there's a lot of doctors talking, activists, and people who went to Geneva, lawyers, and all different kinds of people. So hopefully the people enjoyed that documentary, going to present to Iceland as well. So thank you for that, to give us the voice in Iceland.
yeah, so it's a pleasure to have you. And so, because this is running so fast the time, so we'll have to take another chat soon. And what about your amazing work, what you're doing, and in the group, and also we've been talking about this. Probably starting like a platform where everybody can meet up together, like with this online meetings and group chats, and if somebody out there want to get to know us better, just find us like We Are the Change on Facebook. And then there is some other groups you would like to mention before we end this interview.
I mean, we have pages on the, we have like a group on the Telegram, you know, with the We Are Change. We did like the road to Geneva.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a lot of groups now. They are getting together. So yes, it's a lot of platforms. It's the freehumanity.org from Dan Gregory in the UK. We have the People's Platform UK now in also.
What about some sponsoring for the project? Has that starting some sponsoring? If people want to sponsor this good work.
Yeah, that is the difficult part, you know.
Yeah.
But we
Always.
need to come to a point. We need to come all together to a point. I mean, all the organizations and all the activists around the world, and everybody should to get now this together. And because the thing is, all the things we've been done, it costs us money from our pocket. We're paying from our pocket. We make, you know, nobody pays us for to do this. You know what I mean? We are fighting for everybody. So people have to understand, if they don't want to come to the streets, at least they could help with anything. Like, I mean, because the amount of money we spend for rallies and summits is a fortune. You know, people don't understand that. So it's a lot of money. Like, I mean, here in Portugal, I mean, it's like it's a lot. I mean, for the stage, from the sound system, for everything, all the equipment, from
and all the travels and the hotels, and yeah, like you say, we've been paying this on our own pocket because for us the freedom and our independency matter us, you know, the most. And I believe that freedom and independency in our health, in our lives, is the most important for everybody. So we are fighting for everybody, like you say. So that's so
let's hope.
I would say,
hope.
yeah, I really believe so. Yeah, I don't believe that nobody wants like some Stalinism or Hitlerism or something like that, like total control over your independency. But the thing is that many people are just like you said, they are afraid because these globalists, they have so much power and they're always keeping up with the fearmongering and yeah, propaganda. But
we just need to touch the heart of the big people. I mean,
yeah.
because it's a lot of people out there who the thing, they don't know about us. It's a lot of people, lots around the world. They don't know because we don't have the propaganda. We don't have the propaganda. So if we have the propaganda, because I know, I mean, this is an example. Alex Jones from US, you know, the InfoWar.
Yeah.
Alex Jones, he's been starting from now, and now he have a and they have a lot of people who pay. And one of the guys, I think, he's been helping the freedom. He's a multi-millionaire guy from US. He owns pillows companies and sofas. He's a pillow man, they call him. And he's been putting a lot of money helping the activists to organize things. We don't need much, you know what I mean? For a billionaire, for a millionaire, is nothing. Like, I mean, we don't need much. We just need like to pay is like something like sound system stages and the summit for places to have the summit or things like that, hotels or whatever. It's not really much for what we do because we do all the work. They just need to invest, you know, because the thing is, if they're coming after them as well, and some people they know, but we need to attract more people like that to try to help us because we need sponsors, you know. Yes, it's the same thing with the mainstream media. The mainstream media they only survive from them, from the sponsorship and from the investment of the globalists. They inject so much money into media. So we need somebody like that.
Yeah, I really hope that some honest people out there will see the show and will see it possible to sponsor a little bit, because like I say, it's for everybody. The globalists are also trying to make those people who have some money to take all the money from them. So they are, you know, not only trying to take the independence in health, also in financing, and like the globalists say, yeah, everybody is gonna own nothing and be happy. Well, they mean
Oh yeah.
everybody is gonna be happy with nothing,
False.
but we are gonna own everything. This is what they're saying. So those people out there who have a little savings or have a little money, they're gonna take that away from you too. So watch out.
Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
We don't
That's
give. We don't care, but we just are ready, and we are ready for them. So that is the thing. We are ready since the beginning, and the people in Geneva with all the different countries is just like amazing, like connection from the people on the streets. Everybody speak to each other, no matter which country you are from. It was the best ever vibe we could have had. So the people in each country who don't go normally outside of the country, traveling or whatever, for these people is a message for every single one, especially the people in Iceland, because we're talking for. It's time for you guys to understand one thing. The governments, they don't give a shit about you. You know, the globalists, they don't give a shit about you. They don't care about you, really. But you all have to understand one thing, you know, we are here to protect the children of the world, and you should be in front of on the front line with us to protect your children, because they are coming, and when they will coming, you're going to lose everything. That is the thing you don't understand about the people who are still asleep. So please join. We are coming all together in peace, love, harmony, pass the message to the world. You know what I mean? Because this is a great awakening for every single person in this planet. So let's move on and let's get together as one family. And when we all get together, all these globalists and all these governments, they will gone, because it's not a place for them anymore to be here in this planet. So some of them, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. The good will always win. We know that by history. That only just a part of a time. It's not about if, it's about when the good will win and the evil forces lose.
Yeah.
That's everything. Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's the plan. You know, the fight for freedom will continue. So yeah, this is I'm gonna end the show now, and I am the host, Margret Fridriksdottir, editor from Frettin News in Iceland. I'm very grateful to get such a brave heroes with me here in the show, and we will talk again soon. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, Margaret. We'll talk soon.
God bless Portugal and Brazil.
All the best for everyone in Iceland.
Okay, thank you so much. See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay.